Yeah, pause YouTube. 6fthax here. Have for you guys today a pretty good, close OU Wi-Fi battle had against CSTD off of my Discord. If you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to mega punch that like button down below and let me know what you guys have been thinking of the recently released new megas in the OU tier. Do y'all think the tier has really changed too much, or do you think it's just kind of still the same without too many things really standing out? So this is a really cool team I got passed to me by either the homie X Kid of Death or the homie Pokemon Guru. I don't really remember, but either way, very fun team based around Mega Diance and Kyurem Black. Absolutely love Kyurem Black. So going into this game, the biggest threats I saw on Chris's team were easily going to be, for one, the Volcarona could potentially sweep late game. Keldeo could be a huge nuisance if I lose my Tangrowth, and then Sableye could be a little bit of a problem if I lose my Sableye. Should be able to play around the Latios accordingly, and then Zapdos and Ferrothorn shouldn't be too big of an issue to deal with, as I end up leading off with my Kyurem in hopes that he would actually lead off with either the Ferrothorn or the Zapdos. I'm gonna go straight for the Hidden Power Fire, and that does not really do that much damage. Like, yeah, it did about 60%, but the fact it only did that little means that this has got to be a very spadef bulky Ferrothorn, practically max Spadef, max HP, because that was actually absolute minimum damage on Hidden Power Fire, which is kind of crazy considering just how powerful Kyurem Black really is, but it just goes to show you the absolute bulk of Ferrothorn. So I try to go for the Ice Beam, I believe, as he goes for the Protect. Then this turn I'm going to pull the trigger and call him switching out into the Keldeo, thinking I would go for the Ice Beam or the Hidden Power Fire, but he actually ends up switching in to the Volcarona, which is absolutely fine by me because I'm able to get off a huge amount of damage on that monster, making it a lot less of a problem to my team, and then expecting him to want to go straight for a Fire Blast as opposed to like a Psychic or a Bug Buzz. I'm going to switch directly into my Diance. Unfortunately though, I am a minus Spadef nature Diance, so this Inferno Overdrive is still gonna do a pretty decent little bit of damage. Like, I honestly thought it would do less damage than that, and then I realized, oh hey, I'm naive. So it does do about 35-40ish% after Stealth Rocks, as I will be able to Mega Evolve this turn. With Ferrothorn being so low, he doesn't really have a safe switch into my Diance, so I lost nothing in just going straight for the Earth Power, because he's not going to switch in a Latios or a Zapdos against a Mega Diance, and Earth Power all around was just by far my best play in that scenario. As he brings in the Keldeo, the fact he brought it in against my Diance tells me that that thing has to be Scarfed, so there's no way I'm going to stay in here, and I'm going to make the safe switch into my Tangrowth, as he makes a good double switch on out into his Ferrothorn, either expecting my Tangrowth or probably expecting me to bring in the Latios. But because Latios is choice scarfed on this team and I don't have Roost, I really don't feel entirely too comfortable in switching it in directly against the Keldeo, especially when I do have a very healthy Tangrowth in the back still. So I'm going to take this chance to go for the knockoff in hopes to be able to get rid of something's item, as luckily he lets me knock off this Ferrothorn, which is really good because now I don't have to worry about it going for Protect every other turn and being able to gain back its HP and then eventually be out of range of where I can safely revenge kill it with something else on my team. But it does turn out that he has a Toxic, so that is a little bit annoying, but I should still be able to keep Tangrowth at relatively high enough HP. As I switch into my Latios, he switches into his own Latios, and because I am Choice Scarf Latios, I will gladly stay in here and just go straight for the Draco Meteor. Even if he switches on now into this Ferrothorn, I know at this point this Ferrothorn is completely walled by my Tangrowth, and that's really good because I should be able to beat this 1v1 with my Tangrowth. Even though I am Toxic, I do have the Earthquake and the Hidden Power Ice, which will be doing more than enough damage to eventually get rid of this Ferrothorn. But he's going to make a really nice double switch here, knowing I'm not going to stay in with my Latios. He's going to bring back in his own Latios, and this is actually a little bit annoying because he can just freely go for Draco Meteor here, and I really don't want to take this huge hit with my Tangrowth because I need Tangrowth to be able to just stop that Keldeo from just coming in and freely clicking Scald or Hydro Pump against my team. But it turns out that he's Mega Latios, and this did not at all cross my mind during team preview, because if this is Dragon Dance, which of course it is, this thing can literally just sweep through my team depending on what moves it exactly has. So he's got Earthquake and he's got Dragon Dance. That crit didn't matter. At +1, I was getting knocked out anyways. And it does kind of suck that I lost my Tapu Koko because it could have come in handy later in this match. But I think it's a small price to pay to be able to get a free switch into my Mew and hope that I don't miss the Will-O-Wisp, which thankfully I don't. And now I'm able to land it on this Latios. So he's got Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, and Earthquake. If his final move is Roost, this thing can literally just set up to +6 and plow through my entire team, and there's literally nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to try to bring in my Tangrowth here, expecting him to just Dragon Claw again or go for a Dragon Dance, knowing that Mew can't do anything to Latios, as thankfully he does Dragon Dance, and then he goes for a third Dragon Dance. So he's kind of nullified the burn at this point, which means he's at technically at +1 attack. I think that's how burn works, puts the opponent at -2. Because he's at +3, he's at +1 technically. So knockoff is doing a decent little bit amount of damage here. So I'm going to switch back into my Mew here in hopes that he would just go for the Dragon Claw again and not have the Roost. But it turns out that he's got Zen Headbutt and not the Roost, and that's even better for me because judging for that damage, I might have not actually been able to live with Dragon Claw, and now I'm able to get off that extra turn of burn damage, and I now know that this Latios cannot recover back up to full HP to consistently keep going for Dragon Dances. So this will allow me to bring in my Tangrowth here. At this point, this Latios should be in range of where knockoff plus burn will knock it out. If it doesn't, even at +1, Latios shouldn't be doing entirely too much to my Tangrowth, but he ends up making a bit of a misplay by going for the Zen Headbutt. Maybe he thought that I would try to switch into my Diance on the Dragon Claw to try and rack up the burn an extra turn, or he was going to try and flinch me with the Zen Headbutt. Either way though, I think him going for Dragon Claw would have been by far his better play, but I guess I can kind of understand it if he did expect me to bring in Diance, but I really wasn't in that type of scenario. As in comes Zapdos on the U-turn, I'm going to go for the knockoff on the incoming Sableye. This is really good because now dealing with the Sableye is going to be a little bit easier for my team, and with the Toxic starting to rack up on my Tangrowth, I can't really stay in against this Sableye. Plus, I don't want to lose my Assault Vest because I can still keep Tangrowth around to just completely stop that Keldeo from coming in and again clicking Scald or Hydro Pumps against my team. Plus, Mega Diance is just about always a safe switch into regular Sableye. So I knew that he wouldn't be able to do entirely too much damage if I did hard switch directly into my Diance, and with Ferrothorn being so weakened, I can just click Moonblast and I should be able to knock something out. As down goes the Sableye, in comes the Scarf Keldeo. I'm going to switch directly into my Latios, thinking that he would maybe expect me to bring in my Tangrowth and he would go for the Sacred Sword, but he pulls out the Icy Wind, which did not even cross my mind. I don't think I've seen Icy Wind Keldeo in months in OU, and judging for how much damage the Icy Wind did, if he gets the exact same roll again, he will actually be able to knock me out, but this is a risk I'm willing to take. If he does knock me out, that just means I get a free switch into my Kyurem Black and I can potentially get another KO. Although losing Latios would be a little bit bad, but I still have Tangrowth in the back to deal with Keldeo, but he's actually going to end up switching into a Zapdos on my Draco Meteor, and with me being at -2, I know there's no way I'm going to knock out this Zapdos. So what I'm going to do is make an aggressive switch into my Kyurem Black, because he only had one of two plays to make: either go for the Roost and save Zapdos for the long term of this game, or try and go for the U-turn on my predicted switch out, in which case Zapdos would be in range of where I can easily 2-hit KO him with Psyshock coming from my Latios. So I definitely thought Roost was his better play to do in that scenario, as I will be able to take advantage of this, and I'm going to go straight for the Fusion Ball because I didn't want to risk him potentially trying to bring in the Keldeo on an Ice Beam, and as you can see, I will be able to easily 2-hit KO this Ferrothorn. This is where me getting absolute min damage with the Hidden Power Fire turn 1 kind of plays a role. I'm going to have to take an extra Life Orb hit, but I really don't think it's entirely game-changing at all. Although I guess it would have been nice to have that extra Life Orb hit if it really came down to that scenario, because with me switching out and having to switch back into Stealth Rocks, I think I'll only have 2 Life Orb hits left and if he makes the proper predictions around my Kyurem, then he can Life Orb stall me, and that could be really bad. But because I can still save my Kyurem to beat the Zapdos, or at least wear it down, I'm going to switch directly into my Tangrowth, knowing that I could live Stealth Rocks, 2 Sacred Swords, and Toxic unless he got a crit, because I ran the calc just to make sure. And this is where him going for the Dragon Claw might have come in handy, although if he did Dragon Claw, I probably would have brought in Latios instead of Tangrowth here. Either way though, I get a free knockoff here, and whether it be getting rid of the Choice Scarf on the Keldeo or getting rid of the leftovers on the Zapdos, either one of those two would have been very beneficial to me, because with Zapdos losing its leftovers, it's going to make it a lot easier for my team to beat. And with Keldeo losing its Scarf, this means I can just bring in Mega Diance and click Moonblast, and there's no way Zapdos is going to be able to safely switch into Moonblast plus Diamond Storm, and Moonblast easily knocks out the Keldeo. So he's going to try to switch into a Zapdos here, does a clean 50%. I honestly did not expect the Moonblast to do that much damage to the Zapdos, but I will be able to follow it up this turn and go for the Diamond Storm. If I had missed the Diamond Storm, I think I then could have brought in Kyurem Black, and we would have been in the scenario of, that we were in earlier, where I can either Fusion Bolt or I can Ice Beam. And if he had switched in the Keldeo on my Kyurem's Ice Beam, that actually could have gone a little bit bad. Thankfully though, I don't miss, and I'm able to pick up the second KO here on the Keldeo for the very narrow 3-0 in my favor. I honestly think this match was a lot closer than just a 3-0, because Diance was going to get knocked out by Stealth Rocks on another switch-in. And then Kyurem Black could live Rocks, but only had 1 or 2 Life Orb hits left in it, which he could have easily played around with. And then with me having Scarf Latios, if he had been able to keep Zapdos at a high enough HP, then my Latios wouldn't have been able to beat the Zapdos 1v1, and that might have been a little bit bad. Either way though, I really thought this was a good game. I also kind of expected to get swept by the Latios when it just started Dragon Dancing. Thankfully though, it didn't have Roost, and that was the really only best thing I could have wished for, in hopes that it wouldn't have Roost, and then from there I could just kind of stall it out and eventually beat it 1v1. So if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to Mega Punch that like button down below. Again, let me know how you guys have been enjoying the new Megas that were recently released, and how you think the metagame might have changed a little bit, or do you think it's the same? Either way though, let me know in the comment section below. And with that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow. So later, buddy.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion, but when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears of hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.